I'm very happy to be here because the conference, I think, is important to promote something like partnerships between Europe and Latin America and the United States and the world in general, because distance education promotes exactly this. So my university is in south of Brazil and is private, but private in Brazil is different too.
Yes.
We are private, but we are philanthropical university, so we have 20% the profits in scholarships. It is a little different than the private, just private. Well, my speaking is about this too. I would like to show for you an idea, a general idea about Brazil. Firstly, who is the Brazilian people and who or where really the distance education is happening, because we are very big and with many differences. So the title is very big too, the International Higher Education Collaboration, okay, and the current situation. It's my first speaking. And the international higher and collaboration, it is my second speaking in SAME. I will try to talk about both. Well, the part one, the historical data about the distance education in Brazil, the law is very important to understand how everything occurs from law. And the systemic vision management, like a way to understand and to create new possibilities. So the historical data, very quickly, I will pass about that. We have two great or two big experiences in years, 40 years and 70 years. And after this, just now, and 90 years and 2000 years. So the law in Brazil. The law, we have two decrees, and the number is not so important for you, but the distance education is authorized for everything in Brazil: professional education, special education, adult formation, and undergraduation. But we have many undergraduation experience. And the need of the presential centers, it's another role, another need that by government in our country. It is something like we don't have a total virtual, yes, but with regulation. In Vienna, we will speak about it after me, but because the Ministry of Education understands the needs in our country, since the technologies and the people, and we don't have many people with everything that is necessary. So we have the model or the mix or but not virtual exactly.
Everyone comfortable with the word presential? No problem? Face to face?
Yeah,
okay.
The center. The project of the courses may be based on quality referential, and this quality referential is very interesting because the community, the people, the teachers, the students can help the ministry together. So it's not the ministry idea from ministry, but the people together. So we don't have many people doing this, and it's interesting too. And activities in distance education, the evaluation must be presential. It's a role. It's like an obligation in our country. And the lato sensu levels, you know, lato sensu levels, post-graduation, yeah? Graduation, after, I don't know. Don't need presential centers. What? No?
So you have to go to a place to take an examination.
Yes, like obligation. It's law, no? It's law. The general experiences, the Brazilian scenarios, my first speaking really. No? Brazil has more than 240 universities now, and similar institutions, because we have some institutions that with higher education, but not like university. For example, foundations offering just postgradu or lato sensu courses, and or undergraduation also in universities. To offer courses around 65 institutions authorized to offer graduation course lato and corporate education. Well, it is the reality now. It is a kind of scenario to understand that not we don't have just one kind of course. We don't have one kind of regions. We don't have nothing is the same in our country. So there are here institutions by a national in Brazil, or just in south of Brazil, or just in Brasilia, or well, and it is very complicated to management because the ministry has problems with this. Well, inside this we have different and many realities involving everything. And I'm sorry, because I will try to pass the slides very quickly to can comment. So it is Brazil, and the number, you know, we are many Brazilian people. Yes, too many. And the regions, I'd like you see this, because you know the north in Brazil is very big area, but we don't have students or distance education as we needed in this region, for example. So north is very big, northeast very big, and center east very big. Okay, so that's it's not so big, but we have many offers in Sudeste of Brazil, in distance education and presential education too. And south of Brazil we are little in relation at Brazil in general, but now the south of Brazil is the most offered, and we have many offers, more than Sudeste in Brazil. So it's a problem. What is the problem? Firstly, we don't have, for example, one number, or a good number, the alphabetizing evolution in our country. If you compare this data, okay, in 2001 and 2007, we are growing, but it's not a good number, and we need to make the education, to make distance education for this, and if the real necessity in Brazil. Per region is worse. Well, for example, the indices. Do you know an alphabet? It's like, how is in English? Illiterate. Okay. So in this case, in the north in Brazil, we have 18% don't write, don't read, and anything, and south of Brazil 5%, and this number is almost the opposite. It's very concerning. So. This is the comment about what I am saying now. The offer's needs and the real offer doesn't happen when and where must. It is the question, it's the situation. Well, also this, and also the open in law in relation at regulamentation, we have a new ghost to the education, is the evasion per region, when we are offering, for example, distance education. And if you see the Sudeste in Brazil, we have 34% in evasion in offers. And why? This question is that why this ghost happens, and what you or we need to make about that. So Well, this data is about the motivations, and I don't comment now because of the time. Well, if on one hand the government opening for distance education was positive, like paradoxes, no? The growing in scale brings the risk to the creation of the offer with poor quality. It is the question now inside our country. The systemic vision and would be necessary to understand the complexity in Brazil. So the clear and direct inclusions policy through distance education modality by praxis would be necessary. The inspections needs by government in each institution too, because we have law, but we don't have inspection. It is a big problem too, because the offers occurs, but we don't know how. And the quality is accompaniment in the process by government and by institutions too. It is the situation now we are living, and we would like, yes, the distance education solved something about the problem of alphabetizing and the inclusion, okay, but unhappiness, we have many offers that don't are concerned with quality. Well, following the presentation, why the praxis and why the systemic vision? Because the parts and all in Brazil need to be connected. The virtualization would be understood in this case, such as Heraclito, I will comment after. And I will show for you, if I have time, the one model. Why I am talking about virtualization like Heraclito? Because today, I don't know the term in English, but in Portuguese we have an expression that panacea. Panacea is there in English? In Spanish, yeah, Italian, yeah, and okay. So in Brazil, this phenomenon is occurring too. So some universities, some people suddenly sought to offer courses, programs, and distance education, and imagine to solve everything. And now we are good. Now we have quality. Now we are real, okay, institution with credibility. So for Heraclito now, the virtualization is just one process to the potential, to potentialization. So what I am, I will be. It's complicated because when I have good experiences in presential offer, or we are many very, very serious in my offer in presential, or we have quality. So if I will become this in virtualization, I will too. But not exact. The opposite is not not is true. And it is important because the virtualization or the reality that you have, it's necessary to understand the context. And since that, I will become something in something better. Well. One example that I bring for you is the Unicinos Virtual Unicinos. It's my university, and we have one design that includes clients, and it's very interesting because it's the first time that my university, because it is we are a Jesuit university, we call clients students and clients. It's very incredible or very complicated because the students are not clients. Will be. The situation is, yes, we have one kind of service. We have something that needs to be quality. So the another person needs to receive this with quality too. In this case, we are calling them to the students and another institution or organizing like clients. But it's with personal attendance. We don't work, for example, with groups. Groups are like teams, but not groups, and send 100 people in the same room and talking in general, like the presential often we have. And different from the package usually divulgated as a standard in our country. We don't have a standard model. Our institution is distinguished by the quality embedded the Unicent's brand allied to interaction and interactivity. The Michael Moore was speaking about interaction. We are a Latin country. We need the interaction. And we need interactivity. Maybe in another country it's different. So we need synchronous and asynchronous technologies and methodologies. And it is because it is from culture. It is from the people. And if the activities don't have interaction, the evasion is high. Is the case now, the 43, 45, in last year, almost 70% we have the debt. Well, okay, here. In our model appears an intense pedagogical focus and the teachers. And we call teachers professor and tutor in our university. Formation process to the cognitive development in the student, which begins with a kind of the technological construction and sensibility process to the teachers and continues forever while during the journey. What means this? We have concerning with in the teacher and in the student too, but in the teacher, because the teacher needs to understand in another way the process in distance education. It's not a reproduction in the presential offer or in presential system. And the cognitive understanding and the cognitive functions in students are very different than in presential offers, because we don't have, at the same time, we don't have the same place, and we don't have the material in relation at interaction like you have in presential offer. So it's because this I was calling this in relation at systemic view, and I won't explain about Maturana now, but it's just a comment. Like synthesis, the functions, dynamics is more or less is in Portuguese, I'm sorry, but we have the professor and the training, I don't know if it is the better term, but the professor needs to understand a level, cognitive level, and evaluate level cognitive too, the conceptual level and the operational level to make distance education. So the professor needs, for example, 100 hours by training in our university. And after this professor, it's concomitant the practice, this professor will be distance education professor. Well, because the cognitive changing, because it is a fact. And I kind of, I would like to play with you, but if I ask you about what are you seeing in this image, what do you answer for me? A duck. Yes, when, okay, duck, but duck firstly, at majority here, the duck firstly, and after the rabbit. And someone doesn't see the rabbit and the duck? Yeah? Yeah, it is in human cognition, neurocognition. It's my area to research. It causes property observation and category attribution. It's more or less the brain can see the one image only. Okay, it's my alarm. To my time. And so when the brain sees just one thing, needs the time to see another thing. But in general, everything or everybody here is seeing the same image, but someone saw firstly the duck, and someone saw the rabbit. Why this? Why? Because we are from different cultures. And in the East world, the process, the alphabetizing process, for example, is from right to left, and the Middle East or the West is the left from left to right, and it's very different to building the images and building the interpretations. And so when you use all the time the digital technologies, this experience is very important for one professor to understand how he will develop his methodology or the curriculum or the examples or the images or the simulation, well, everything.
Couple of minutes.
Okay. Well, this map is impossible to explain now, but it's the cognition map to understand about human cognition and perception mainly, because the perception is the human function more important in this moment about the digital and virtual world. Before we had the memory, and now the perception is the moment, is the principal, the main function. Well, I don't explain about this, about that, but the presentation would be here. So if a couple minutes, what? Well, in Brazil, we have a cultural and social diversity, like you know. So the distance education needs, for example, just in south of Brazil, like example, there are dialects and I don't speak in German. Okay, German is used for around 1.5 million of the people in our country. And the Italian language is very used for descendants in the rural zones in my zone in the south of Brazil. So we don't have just Brazilian people. We are many people and mostly, and trying to think together and to make something better in relation at education. So we need to perceive about that. And well, I think the international higher education collaboration and transnational, like what is Laura? No, she's not here. Is a good idea to understand the differences, and after this, to make or to propose from using distance education. Last year in Madrid, in Online Educa, we started with Antonio in Portugal and Antonio in Spain too. Yes, José. No? We thought about something like Espacio Europeo e Iberoamericano do Conhecimento, or the Europe and the Ibero-America and of knowledge. And in this moment, we are trying to think about something that could prepare the connections between different parts of the world by education, by not technology just, but by education. Well, I don't have time anymore, and it's all. I'd like to to ask, I'd like to say, apologies.